In the icy expanse of Antarctica, a young penguin named Percy waddled awkwardly through the snow, his feathers matted and sticky. Percy was known among his peers for one thing, his dreadful smell. He didn't mind the way he reeked of fish and old seaweed. In fact, he was quite proud of it. To Percy, showers and baths were for the weak. "Look at Percy. He smells like rotten fish," squawked a particularly irritable penguin named Gretel, as she and her friends snickered. "Ha! I bet he hasn't had a bath in ages," said Joff, another penguin, wrinkling his beak. Percy's face flushed with anger, but he said nothing. The sting of their laughter was worse than any harsh words. He waddled past them, trying to ignore their taunts. At home, Percy's parents were at their wits' end. His mother, Pearl, sighed deeply as she looked at her son, who was sitting alone at the dinner table. "Percy, dear," Pearl began softly, "why don't you ever clean yourself? It's not healthy to go without a bath for so long." Percy grumbled, "Baths make you weak." "I don't want to be weak." His father, Pat, placed a gentle flipper on Percy's shoulder. "Son, it's not about being weak. It's about staying clean and healthy. We just want you to be happy." Percy shrugged off his father's flipper and trudged to his room, feeling more isolated than ever. One day, news arrived that Percy's Uncle Larry, a seasoned sailor who had been away on a grand adventure, was returning home. The whole family buzzed with excitement, and Percy, though disinterested in socializing, was curious about his uncle's stories. When Uncle Larry finally arrived, he was a striking figure with a colorful sailor's hat and a broad, friendly smile. He greeted everyone warmly before his gaze fell on Percy. "Ah, Percy. You've grown so much," Uncle Larry exclaimed, his eyes twinkling as he approached. Percy shuffled awkwardly, trying to avoid eye contact. "Hi, Uncle Larry." Uncle Larry noticed the foul stench that accompanied Percy and raised an eyebrow. "I see someone's taken a liking to the fishy aroma." Percy bristled but didn't respond. Later that evening, while Percy was sitting by himself, Uncle Larry approached him. "Mind if I join you, Percy?" "Sure," Percy muttered. As they sat together, Uncle Larry began to tell a story. "You know, when I was at sea, I learned something very important about cleanliness. There was this one time when we were chased by pirates." Percy's ears perked up despite himself. "Pirates?" "Yes, pirates." Uncle Larry chuckled. "We were outnumbered, and it looked like all hope was lost. But then, something extraordinary happened." Percy leaned in, intrigued. "Well," Uncle Larry continued, "I had just taken a shower and was feeling pretty fresh. The pirates were so put off by my cleanliness, they couldn't stand the smell of soap and clean feathers. They mistook us for a dangerous crew and decided to sail away." Percy's eyes widened in disbelief. "So, you escaped because you were clean?" "That's right," Uncle Larry said with a wink. "Sometimes, being clean isn't just about looking nice, it can actually help you in unexpected ways." Percy considered this, his pride warring with the new understanding. The next day, Percy tentatively approached the family's bathing pool. He dipped a flipper in, feeling the cool water. His heart pounded as he stepped in, feeling the refreshing sensation against his feathers. It was strange but not unpleasant. Pearl watched from a distance, her eyes full of hope. "You're doing great, Percy." Percy didn't respond, but continued to wash, feeling the grime and old fish slowly washing away. The water, although initially uncomfortable, began to feel soothing. Later that afternoon, Percy rejoined his friends, now clean and fresh. The change was noticeable. Gretel and Joff stared in surprise. You look different," Gretel said, unsure of how to react. Percy stood tall, no longer feeling the need to defend his smelly habit. "I guess I do." Joff took a deep breath and, for the first time, actually smiled. "You smell a lot better too." Percy felt a rush of warmth and pride. For the first time in a long while, he didn't feel alone. His parents beamed with pride from the sidelines, and Uncle Larry gave him a proud nod. Percy's journey to self-acceptance and cleanliness had begun, and while he still had much to learn, he knew that sometimes change was not just about fitting in but also about finding strength in being yourself.